Hello everyone, COWABUNGA here. Sunday's here, the weekend is almost over sadly, but such is life. Well, it's still not over, so let's make the best of what is left of it. I mean, it's already late, it's already evening here, because due to daylight savings time, we went back 1 hour, the clocks went back 1 hour here, where I am. So the sun has already set at 6:39 p.m. Okay, so today I'm playing Shredder's Revenge instead of Pokemon Adventure Red, like I was playing yesterday and on Friday. Because I'm still not done Shredder's Revenge. I still need to level up characters. Look at this. Only Leonardo up to level 10. I was playing as Michelangelo. Okay, let's go with April. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed B instead of A. Silly me. Let's go for default colors. At this point, I found every single collectible. I mean, I haven't beat all challenges, but some of the challenges are way too hard for me to even attempt them. Like not getting any damn, not getting hit at all a single time during the stage. Even on chill difficulty, that's something I don't think I can do. Okay, let's start with stage 1 to level up April. Jawbreaking news, like Ed and Eddie. Remember how Ed and Eddie ate those jawbreakers? I always wonder if they were real. If they were real or not. I'm surprised how many people actually work for Channel 6. I mean, the news station gets attacked on a weekly basis in the original cartoon series. I mean, who would want to work there? See? Failed to finish level on yeah, that's... You know, I like how Chun-Li gets the... I know how I say April gets the Chun-Li's Tenchu kicks. That's pretty cool. Yeah, how she attacks with her microphone and camera as well. Let me look at this. April's kicking fucking ass, man. That's nice. It's a shame she's not Channel 6 my news anchor, but Fernan instead. That weirdo. So I'm a bit okay. I'm a bit disappointed there with the way the elections for my local sports club Benfica have gone. It seems like there's going to be a second round, I think, but the current president chairman Rui Costa seems to have won the first round, and that's a shame because honestly, I think in 2 weeks it will be the second round, and if Rui Costa gets fucking re-elected, that's 4 more years of mediocrity of just selling players for like 50 million years and above, selling the good players as soon as they touch the ball, and then wasting 100 millions each summer transfer window for mediocre players to not win any trophies. I mean, he's been embarrassing the club, so honestly, I cannot handle 4 more years of constant humiliations. I mean, I know that you should always support your football team, and regardless, but when even the people running it and even most of the associates voting don't clearly seem satisfied with the constant humiliations and losing and not winning any trophies, it kind of makes me wonder why are I wasting time with this? Clearly, clearly they just want to be a they just want to be a they just want the club to be a stepping stone to sell players and uh, and get into other ventures, not caring about football results. So what's the point? So yes, I'll have to stop following football for a while if this carries on. Honestly, the point is not winning trophies and such because because we don't watch football just to watch our team win trophies, but it's the fact that they don't even seem to try anymore, and that's the lack of identity. It's all about mercantilism and, and furthering their own ego. I mean, yeah, I'm not entertaining that circus anymore, honestly. And I say this with a lot of pain in my heart because I always loved Benfica to death, but uh, but I no longer recognize the club I love. I feel like it just doesn't share my values anymore. So why am I keeping on? So I feel like I should stop caring as much, or at least take a sabbatical from it from several years. I guess it's the part of growing up because after all, football is not really a matter of life or death. Yes, I know Bill Shankly said it, or it was much more than that, but I don't really believe that anymore. Maybe when you are like a teenager or a young adult in your 20s, football might be the most important thing you have besides, food, shelter, and such. But honestly, the older I'm getting, the least important it is. I've been accompanying my football club, Benfica, more like a TV show that never ends. So, yeah, I still get sad and happy over. I still get sad and happy over defeats and wins, like respectively, like everyone does. But it's just not the same thing anymore. I guess it's called growing up, because it's not the end of the world if Benfica loses a game, but it's also not the my life also will not suddenly improve just because we win a game or a trophy. Okay, April kicked Bebop's ass. Something that never happened in the original cartoon series, but whatever, this is a video game, so who cares, right? Cowabunga, right? So I've noticed that while I was offline, I've gained 3 new followers. So thank you for the people who follow me in case you're watching this. I sincerely thank you. I already met 24 followers. Considering I have like 11, 12 followers a couple of weeks ago, it's like I've doubled my followers. That's positive and gives me strength to carry on. So again, thank you to all my 24 followers and anyone that has chatted in my stream and checked my streams out. I love playing video games, but I also love interacting with entertaining you guys. So sincere thanks. That pizza logo reminds me of Pizza Hut. In fact, I think it's supposed to be based on it. If you remember in the TMNT 2 or game for the NES, which is a port of the original arcade game, has a lot of Pizza Hut ads in it. I mean, the pizzas are by Pizza Hut. That was interesting partnership. The thing about Pizza Hut is that okay, they're not exactly that good of a chain, really. I mean, their pizzas are too fat, although their garlic bread is still godly. But yeah, the funny thing about Pizza Hut is when they came to Portugal here in the 90s, they were like the only business with caller ID. Like you'd call them and it, after you call them one single time to order pizza, they'd have your name uh, as soon as you call them the second time, as soon as they picked up the phone, instead they knew your address and your name. They were like the first major business to have caller ID here in Portugal back in the mid 90s, which was quite a cutting edge at the time because most people did not have caller ID unless they had a mobile phone, obviously. But landlines, no. It was like we even used to joke about that Pizza Hut were owned by were run by the CIA. I mean, how do they know? How do they know who we are before we even state our name? How do they know who we are as soon as we call them? As soon as they pick up our call. But yes, we've ordered a lot of pizzas from Pizza Hut when we were kids, teenagers. Back in the 90s, up until the mid-2000s or so. And to be fair, they did have some good pizza, even though it's not exactly healthy because it's pretty fat. Pizza Hut is basically, even though their food is not fast, it's basically junk food, I guess. You're better off eating the homemade pizza or natural pizzas instead of Pizza Hut or frozen pizzas. Besides, Pizza Hut is not exactly authentic pizza. It's not exactly Italian pizza, you know. It's American pizza. In fact, I believe Italy is one of the only two countries that does not have Pizza Hut chains. Pizza Hut the Pizza Hut chain in it. I think the other might be Argentina. I don't know. Well, because there's all Italians there. The Italians, well, they invented pizza, you know. But yeah, a lot of people assume that the Italian pizza is is supposed to be like the pizzas from Pizza Hut, but no, they're not. For one thing, Italians do not put pineapple on pizza. So yes, it would be cool going to Italy, to particularly Napoli, the place, the home of pizza, to eat some authentic pizza. Infinite Ninja Power, though April is not a ninja, but who cares? They were not going to change the name just for what would be Infinite Journalist Power, Reporter Power. Yeah, that would be silly. Besides, she's an ordinary ninja turtle after all. She's their best friend, their big sister, their big human sister. Okay, Rocksteady. I still don't understand why he says hero praise, but they left out the titles part from it. I don't know why. But then when you face Bebop and Rocksteady in the bridge, they say it's title bashing time. So why just say your praise, not say your praise titles? Yeah, that's kind of disappointing, I'd say, but oh well, it's still a fun game. I just don't understand why they made that decision. Why is it say your praise titles trademark or something? Am I missing something? But what sense would that make even? Trademark say your praise titles. Okay, Rocksteady throwing the heavy metal. Anyway, I see everyone is excited still about Silk Song. I haven't played yet, and everyone's also excited about the newest Pokemon game, Legends ZA or Pokemon ZA or something like. I think that's the name. I don't have it yet because I don't have the Switch too. But when I eventually get it, I'll definitely pick Totodile. I'm not picking Chikorita. I never liked it, and I'm not picking Tepi either as a starter. Totodile it is. I love Totodile. Cute water crocodile. But yeah, I like how they gave Chun-Li a move. I like when they have April Chun-Li's Tentacles. Although I must say I never thought about April and Chile at the same time, but that would be a dream threesome, don't you think? They're both super hot. Ouch. Ouch. Somehow I think like, oh shit. Somehow I think that April would never do something like this in real life, riding a hoverboard and such. Somehow leveled up. I guess it depends on how many enemies you KO. By the way, I will not be streaming tomorrow. Let me warn you this because I'm not streaming tomorrow. I've been streaming 3 days in a row and I'll take a break tomorrow on Monday. Perhaps I will stream on Tuesday or Wednesday, but not tomorrow. And next time I stream, I'll go back to Pokemon Adventure Red. I beat the first gym yesterday. Rock Gym got the Boulder Badge. And I'm teaming up with Misty to go to a Mountain Room. Take on Team Rocket, and then I'll be facing her at Cerulean City too for the for her badge, the second gym. It's been a fun ROM hack so far, the Adventure Red. As for other feature games I might play, well, I have a lot of options, and I want to make any promises. But yeah, mostly retro games and such. Like I can tell you that I'll definitely try Ocarina of Time's randomizer sometime. That's something I've been meaning to do for a long time now. When I was a little kid, I mean, I had this big Raphael stuffed toy, which belonged to my brother. But sadly, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got too damaged or something. I don't know. I don't remember. The last time I saw it, I must have been 7 years old. But I loved that big Raphael stuffed toy, and I wish. And if I still had it, I would have it right here behind me. Well, not behind me, but maybe sitting on my lap while I play this game. It's not practical for me to do that while sitting on the big couch with action figures, which is why I have stuffed toys behind me and not action figures. So yeah, I still have a lot of stuffed toys from when I was a kid. Somehow I never got rid of them, and also since I'm the youngest member of my family and I'm 34 years old. I mean, I don't have any kids or nephews, so the stuffed toys have nowhere to go. So I'll just keep them. It's kind of funny to be a human being fighting against a big ass vehicle, don't you think? Okay, I did not lose a life. Not that it really mattered. Mic drop. Yeah, I just noticed she does the mic drop thing. Yeah, let's leave the world map and try. Let's see if anyone's playing online. Playing arcade mode online. Party up. No, that's not what. Find players. Oh, 4 players. 50% in. Now let's go for. Let's try and see if we can enjoy this one. Sometimes it doesn't work. King of the Spill. Alright, Red King stage. Episode 5. They beat him, okay. Mall Meltdown, okay. Tempestuous and Razor and Toka. Raphael. Alright, Raphael, my favorite turtle girl. Watch the brick wall, Mikey. This is such an 80s mall. So bright and colorful. Anyway, I was not alive in the 80s, I was born in 1990, so my only exposure to the 80s is how it's through it's through the it's through the media from its time or setting there. Although I suppose the 80s you see in the media was quite different from the 80s in real life, in many ways. Although it would have been a cool decade to experience, I guess. But honestly, I mean, the closest people to me in real life that I asked about the 80s, they didn't help much either. I mean, okay, my brother who was born in 1983 told me he doesn't really remember the 80s. I remember asking him many years ago, how was life in the 80s? He was like, I don't remember much. I mean, I was, by the time I turned 7 years old, the 80s were over. It was now 1990. So I don't remember much about the 80s. Which is fair. And my mother, who was born in the 50s, told me, I don't remember, I was too busy in the 80s to notice what was popular and what was popular and hot. So yeah, she said the same thing about the 90s as well. Although even though I remember the 90s better because I was born in 1990, but if you asked her about what was the hottest music in the 80s, 90s, she said, I don't know, I was too busy. Because music to my mother kind of she mostly only listened to music up until the 70s or so. I mean, my mother did not like heavy metal at all, and she told me it was too noisy and aggressive, loud for her, too much screaming. And I asked her to give me an example of a band that screamed a lot, screamed very loudly, and she said Metallica, Metallica. I mean, Metallica was too much for my mom to do. But yeah, I mean, okay, I understand that older generations that might have a problem with louder and what they perceive as louder, more aggressive music. But young generations, to me, it's just odd. Like, how do some young people are bothered by more fast-paced and louder music? I think I'll go as far as say that too. Say that guys below 40 something years old who cannot handle some aggression in their music, some fast-paced music, or even some slightly harsh vocals are pussies. Yeah, I said that. Like, if you tell me you don't like Iron Maiden or Pantera or old school Metallica, I mean, that's already a red flag for me because clearly you really like completely different music. It just disappoints me, and everyone can like whatever they want, but makes me know that, see, if you don't like this, what do you like? I guess they'll like indie music, hipster music, or EDM. But I don't see why some people have a problem with aggression in music and prefer cookie cutter stuff. Well, I know. I guess they also, I guess those people who like that kind of stuff also feel the same way about me. Why? How can you like heavy metal? Yeah, but who knows? And no, heavy metal is not the only music I like. I also like classical music, jazz, synthwave, video game OSTs. Yes. And yes, of course, I like rock music because rock is one of the broadest genres ever, particularly hard rock and grunge rock. In fact, Alice in Chains are a metal band, in my opinion. I also like Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots. Not as crazy about Pearl Jam. Nirvana alright, I guess. But as for rap music, I like some songs, but rap music is very hit and miss for me. Like I like select songs, but it's not something I can listen to constantly. And even the songs from some, and even the artists I happen to like the more songs from, I can say I like every single thing they make. Probably because I did not grow up listening to rap music, so to me it's a bit more foreigner, I suppose. Foreign, I suppose. Yes, I'm more into guitars, instruments, and such. In fact, it kind of saddens me that rock music is no longer the dominant music genre. It's sad how the dominant music nowadays it's anything that's that falls within the pop, hip hop, R&B genres. And I think even big rap fans don't like modern day hip hop. They think it's too artificial and cookie cutter. They prefer old school rap by far. So yes, but yes, I realized that in 2010, 2011, when I was like in my early 20s, and people around my age, mostly Americans, Canadians, seem to not like heavy metal or rock music at all. They only listen to people like Kanye West and such. And yes, I've listened to Kanye, and I think he's a garbage musician, and also a fucking idiot. But that's but yeah, honestly, I think it's because people have become more individualistic and less social, and they don't want to bother picking up an instrument, learning how to play the guitar, and form a band with their friends. I feel like young people nowadays don't seem to want to do that anymore. Like, I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, you could go, if a guy went to school and with a guitar, he would be surrounded by girls. Nowadays, I doubt that's the case. You have to be a DJ or a rapper or something to get girls. I feel like, I mean, I understand because, as I've said before, everyone I know who formed a band when they were teenagers eventually parted ways due to creative differences or something like that. So I guess having a band with a lot of members can be a hassle in terms of politics and creative differences, which ruins friendships. So at least if people are just if a guy just wa- if a guy just wants to be a DJ or a rapper working solo, I guess it's a lot easier because he doesn't have to learn how to play the guitar and doesn't have to deal with band members. So maybe that's also plays into a part. Not to mention you can also download computer programs to make music nowadays, and that's probably easier to use than buying a guitar for a few $100, euros, and learn how to play it. Everyone just wants instant gratification nowadays. The only things nowadays that are somewhat popular that don't require that do not give you instant gratification are fighting games online. And I suppose working out because you're not going to get muscular ripped in like a week. No, you're not. But that's just biology, so nothing that can be done about that. I don't know why there are no construction workers in this construction site. Sometimes I look behind me to see if the stuffed toys did not fall asleep. Like, for example, Kritek here is almost falling down. Yeah. Oh, I just realized I'm alone. The two other players I was playing with abandoned me. Well, in this case, let me return to the main menu. Because I'm here to play co-op, so not to play arcade alone. Gnarly, okay. 12% in. Oh well, since a lot of people are playing, I can survive Gnarly. I've already managed to beat, well, I mean, I died at the end to Shredder, but I got the achievement nonetheless because my party beat the game on Gnarly Arcade. Mikey. Yeah. Alright. The real game starts now. I'm glad this stage does not have a musical number. That would suck. Okay, I'm Mikey, teaming up with April, Casey, Donatello, and Investor Springer left us. Oh, okay, so it's just Mikey, Donatello, April, and Casey. Not a bad team, all things considered. We're playing Gnarly, the hardest difficulty mode in arcade. Party dudes, alright. I love, I love playing co-op with a lot of people in Shredder's Revenge. It's so fun. I mean, you basically feel like the Turtles and their allies trying to save the world from Shredder and Clan and the Foot Clan. Yeah, that's how it should be, buddy. Fuck. Oh, the Stream Blue bots. They always show up about 20-30 minutes in, don't they? Oh well, at least they're bots, so they just drop the message and then leave. The worst are the people trying to chill their art. They don't take the hit. But bots, since they're bots, they just leave a message and then leave. So, so they don't bother me too much. I only have 2 lives left, so I'm not think I'm going very far in Gnarly. But I've already beaten the arcade in the Gnarly difficulty level, well, by partying up with other people, obviously, because alone I could never do that. But I got this team achievement and that no one can take from me. So suck it, game. Go. Oh, pizza does not fill up everyone, okay. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does. It depends on the game and its settings, I guess. By the way, friendly reminder that besides the YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, as I have on the screen as you can see them, I also am on TikTok with the same username, COWABUNGA, and also have a Discord server, which if you check the about section, there's the link there, which is permanent. So feel free to join my Discord. I love to have you there. All right, Turtle Tenderizer. Party, dude. That's not a good time to be meditating, Donnie. Come on now. I'm not sure I can survive this. Unless there are no game overs or something. I have to get setting the exists or not. Yo, what the fuck happened? I don't think I've ever seen that happen before in this spot. Oh, I'm almost dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I think it's gonna be game over for me. Continue, yes. Okay, I have to continue, so... this time I'm gonna with Usagi. I've only played him in the survival mode. And he seems good, so... Yeah, I wish I could help them, but I can't. Okay, I have one remaining continue only. This is gnarly, mind you, so... So yeah, I'm not getting very far in this. Yes. Cowabunga, dudes. Yeah. Alright. Rumble in the zoo. Yay. Usagi or Jimbo. Meditating and drinking some tea, I guess. You know, I I only drink coffee. I mean, tea is not really my thing, I guess. Perhaps I should give it another shot. The robotic food soldiers eating an ice cream, a blue ice cream is just funny. It's just a really funny visual. Come on now. By the way, speaking of games I stream, I was talking to someone the other day about streaming, uh, wondering if older football games like older Pro Evolution Soccer and FIFA games, or games like I don't know Sensible Soccer, were worth streaming if there was any audience for those. I don't know, but perhaps I should give it a shot. Although I'm not sure anyone will want me to watch play football games from 20 or 30 years ago. But I suppose I could give it a shot sometime because because this guy was talking about he was playing the Master League on one of the old Pro Evolution Soccer games. I think it was 5 or 6. I don't remember. And yeah, it's funny. Pro Evolution Soccer used to dominate the early mid 2000s. It was considered widely considered a better game than FIFA, and it certainly outsold FIFA here in Portugal. Even though they have way less teams and do not have licensed players and teams for the most part, they have much better gameplay, despite Konami being a Japanese company. But yeah, FIFA had lower leagues and such, but it was not that good. I mean, FIFA 2004 was the first game to have a career mode. I think the first FIFA game to have a career mode, and also lower leagues like he had like four tiers of English football, four English divisions, two Italian divisions, two Spanish divisions, two German divisions, and two French divisions. So yeah, it was the first game to have lower leagues. But it was not that good. You could easily just score from the middle of the pitch. FIFA 2003 also was not that good. Neither was FIFA 2005, despite career mode going from 5 seasons to 15. Although I don't think I ever went all the 15 seasons. I got for 10 seasons in or so. Even though you could have games of 5 minutes per half, the games the games felt like they took much longer to play. As in, after 2 matches, you'd have spent 1 hour playing FIFA 2005. It was strange. But yeah, I think FIFA 06, 2006 was when FIFA started becoming good. Because also, even back in the 90s, people called them the FIFAs from the 90s as classics, like FIFA 95, 96, 98, 99 as classics, but game over for me. No, no, not yet. It's game over for the Donatello. Let's see if he's gonna pick any character. I know, I think it's the player who joined this, yeah. Who's still assigning who to play as. But yeah, the FIFAs in the 90s, I don't think they're that good anyway. I think maybe FIFA 99 was good, yeah, that one was good, but I think Konami International Superstar Soccer games were much better, like International Superstar Soccer Deluxe for the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, and also International Superstar Soccer 98 for the Nintendo 64 were the shit. Although the problem was that, well, they didn't have licensed players and they only had national teams, but they played so well. I played a lot of hours in International Superstar Soccer 98, and so did my brother. The World League mode was awesome. I miss when sports games were less centralized. There were many more of them, and they were more about having fun instead of just trying to emulate an actual football match and with realistic graphics and of stadiums and such. Because I want to play a game, not football match simulator, and which is why old school football games like Nintendo World Cup, Sensible Soccer, and such are much and Super Mario Strikers are and the Acme All Stars 92 Adventures game for the Mega Drive are the best sports games I've played, the funnest ones. I don't exactly go back and replay FIFA 2006 or something like that. Just like I doubt anyone is going back, is still playing FIFA 2019 or something like that. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to revive Casey. So yeah, But it's a shame because EA is a cancerous company, and Konami also ruined PES. They turned it into eFootball, just like FIFA turn, just like EA turned FIFA into EAFC or something. And I have heard lots of criticism for both. They ruined the football games for everyone. They're too obsessed with microtransactions and the My FIFA cards and such. Oh, but I was gonna die for good. Stupid dirtbag. I was meditating and drinking tea. What a dirtbag move. I mean, seriously. No, Grandchuk does have a good design. The problem is I cannot save him because, okay, and I'm dead. So return to my menu. I'm not gonna stay here and watch people play the rest of the game. Okay, so what now? What now? Okay, let's try survival again. This one is hard as shit. Yeah, Uzaki is the one I have the most creatures with. Let's try Karai. I don't think I've played as her yet. At all, is it? Yeah, pizza party in the sewers. And sushi party for Master Splinter because he hates pizza. Levitating pizza? Alright, it's neutrinos who wants the crystals. Yeah, right. I do not remember this anymore. We're helping the neutrinos collect their crystals. I think the anime, the OVA, the 2 episode OVA, from the 1996 OVA Ninja Turtles also had to do with crystals. And the neutrinos were turned into fairies or something. That one was like weird. But that's not really canon, so. So crime begins in Mirage, not Edo period in Japan. Okay. Monogekko rocking in the background, as always. Okay, let's see. Somehow, for some of the characters, the survival is harder than for others. Like, I find it really hard for Leonardo. No need to please, let's get crystals, I guess. Let's see what your special looks like. Yeah, that's pretty ninja, right? Korai's actually a pretty cool character. I think in the Mirage comics, she was the head of the Foot of Japan, while Shredder was or Saki was the head of American Foot branch. In the 2003 series, she was Shredder's adopted daughter, and she had a bit of a rivalry with Leonardo. I haven't watched much of the Nickelodeon cartoon. I only watched the first few episodes, so I don't know what Karai was like there. And she was not in the original cartoon series, though. You had a similar character, which was Lotus Blossom, but they're actually different characters, so because we don't know what happened to the Foot Clan in Japan in the original cartoon series. We know in the first episode that Shredder was training into an army of crime in Japan, but then he moved to USA, and I guess he took the Foot Clan with him or something. Oh, that's Metalhead and General Zorax. I think that's his name yet. Yeah, Captain Zorax, I mean, not General. Triceratops leader. I don't like the Triceratops portraying the original cartoon. There were only one episode anyway. That episode where Donatello gets hit in the head and thinks he's Batman. The Dark Turtle. Boom, there goes Metalhead. Please give me pizza. No, but... Pow, okay. Okay, that's better than nothing, I suppose. But I really want to replenish my health, refill my health, otherwise I'll die. Yeah, those hammers can fucking kill you, man. And the black foot soldiers with the scythes are probably the toughest foot soldiers around. I'm dead. Game over. Okay. Got one crystal with Karai. Let's find a different character. Who else haven't I played as yet? In this mode, in the survival mode. Because I have, I don't, yeah, I think I think with Casey Leonardo I got my ass kicked by both at the beginning, so let's try again. Oh, okay, Leonardo. Leonardo was quite hard, so, but maybe now I can do better with him, let's see. You know, I still don't recognize that character with that probably with the wings wearing the yukata. Maybe he's from the Archie comics, or maybe he's from Usagi Ujimbo, I don't know, honestly. I don't think he was in Mirage. He certainly was not in the 80s or 2003 cartoon series. That I can. And he was not in the live action movies either, so maybe maybe he was in the Archie comics, or maybe Usagi Ujimbo. I don't recognize that guy either. He doesn't even look like a Ninja Turtles character, I must say. But again, I haven't seen everything because at this point there are too many different iterations of the Ninja Turtles, so... Watch the bombs, man. Bombs away. Crystals, yeah. I don't think I know what the other one does yet. But yeah, if you give me crystals and I don't need to refill my health, then... And that guy just looks like human Vernon, but maybe it's Hamato Yoshi, I don't know. More crystals. Let's see if I can finally get one crystal to Leonardo. Because I'm sure I'm gonna face some bosses soon. And that's where usually I get fucked. Usually if I face two bosses at the same time. Oh fuck, rock soldiers. Yeah, those guys are tough as nails. Yeah, I think this was the stage that killed me. With Leonardo. Led me to a game over. And in survival, well, just like the name of the mode says, once you die, you're a gunner. Look at this, I'm on... Oh shit. Yeah, I'm a gunner. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't have Mona Lisa Armando Gecko, I don't have the DLC. Have I played as April Splinter yet? I don't think so. Let's try April. She begins in Nano, which is strange, but okay. But okay, that's the way it is, I guess. Shit. So frustrating to fall down the the pit or fall in the water. You gotta be careful not to jump around like a maniac. Like a monkey that's high on cocaine, or else, boom, you just free fall down and lose health. Did a giant camera pop out of that? Let's see if I can get a crystal vapor at least. This is the hardest mode by far. I was never good with survival endurance modes in fighting games and beat 'em ups, I'd say. The whole you lose one life and boom, you're dead. You gotta start over again. Yeah, that's just not for me because I'm not a super player by any means. Mic drop. What a scoop, yeah. Okay, let's turn to Rocksteady. I've turned to Bebop before, but not into Rocksteady so far, so let's try. Bouncing baddies, what? What? There goes Rocksteady. Fuck, I fell down. Shit. Rocksteady's a little slow. Okay, pow. Pow pizza. Having a powwow. Remember that Seinfeld episode where Kramer and Jackie Childs were talking about having a powwow? Which I don't know what it means, but I guess it means making a deal or something. Powwow. Who told you to have a powwow? That shit was just really funny. I think it was in the episode where Kramer wanted to sue the tobacco companies. Pizza, yeah. Pizza time. That fox is definitely Ninjara from the Archie comics. The wolf, I don't know. The wolf or dog, I don't know who he is, I must say. But yeah, that's definitely the fox is Ninjara from the mutant animals. From the Archie series. The mutant animals which Monogaka was also part of. Green fire. Yay. Now, Toasty. Yeah. Crystals. Let's see if I can get a crystal with April. Let's see. Oh, Cortex almost falling. Look at these katana guys. They think they have the Master Sword or something. You're not Link from Ocarina of Time. Come on now. Or any Zelda game, really. No. Now, what the Legend of Zelda Ninja Turtles crossover workouts? I don't know. What do you think? I don't think so, honestly, guys. But I'd be open to it if it was done well, I suppose. Hmm. Maybe I should have gotten the carrot. I don't remember what it does, honestly. I think I've gotten the carrot before, but I don't remember what it does. Okay. Let's see if I can finally get a crystal here. Ah, the rockets. I hate these rockets. Shit. Okay, I dodged the shurikens. Actually, I'm not sure they're shurikens. They're too big to be shurikens. I think they're the same. They're one of those weapons that Simon Belmont and Alucard can get in Castlevania games. Okay, crystal. Yes. I got one crystal with April. Crystal complete. Challenge increased. Okay. Mirage. Okay, now we're going to Mirage. Let's see if I can get a second crystal. Oh, it's that stage when there's a holdout between the comic panels. I like how April just beats a giant-ass camera out of them at times. You can't even replenish your health when you change this. When you change dimension, really. Come on, now. I know it's supposed to be survival, but Jesus. Be more lenient, guys. Fuck. Let's try again. Wait, I gotta start Edo again? I already have a crystal. The Edo crystal, come on now. Yeah, that's BS. Why do I have to redo this? Quit run. I didn't want to go back to the main screen. Oops, pressed the wrong button. Donatello. Edo, okay. I think all turtles start in the Edo period Japan, except for Raphael, who I think starts with Mirage. Of course, motorcycles in the Edo period Japan, which is like what 15th, 16th century Japan. Yeah, that's very realistic, no doubt about it. But hey, sci-fi is one of the genres of Ninja Turtles, so imagine going back in time and riding motorcycles in the anywhere in the world in the 16th century. Wouldn't that be something? I wonder how the people would react to it. Oh, that's some strange metal horse you're riding there, buddy. You know, the Rockkill Runners was literally like one episode, the second episode of the 87th series. I don't think they ever showed up in any other version, but yet they make it to every single Ninja Turtles beat 'em up game. It's funny. Oh, he just ran away? Okay. Okay. What the fuck is this? What? This seems more trustworthy. Oh no, damage received is double, but I feel if you once perk is over, less 3 rounds. Okay. Oh well, live and learn, I guess. Next time I will not pick that. And if I die with Donatello before I get the first crystal, I'll try again with him. Fuck those giant hammers, holy shit. Take that, you metal things. You're not worthy of the katana, only Leonardo is. Look at Donatello bouncing on his bill like a pogo stick. Yeah, let me turn into Shredder. That should be cool. I am the Shredder. Yeah, Shredder kicks ass. Kicking ass against the footy, his own men. Well, not men since he's our robots, but his minions, okay. Pretty cool they can momentarily play as the bad guys in this mode. So yeah, Shredder, help Donatello obtain a crystal. These guys also think they're Link from Legend of Zelda. And they think they're worthy of the katana like Leonardo is. No, you're not. Because in the cartoon, the robotic food soldiers were actually quite incompetent. They were just cannon fodder for the turtles to beat. Pizza, yeah. Or maybe not. You know, since you're robots, you should be a lot stronger than that, don't you think? Riding the rocket. Okay, back to Donatello. Must not die. Must not die. And I hate these rocket firing robots, foot soldiers. Take that. Oh, more of them? Alright, Pogo Stick Celebration. Yeah, I got a crystal. The Edo Crystal. Crystal complete. Alright. Yeah, I expected Mirage to be the next one. Oh, Metalhead and Dirtbag, okay. That's a quick start. Alright, crystals carry over, so I have 18 out of 60. Good. Man, these... You know these stages where you face two boss fights at the same time, even if their health is only half of what it's actually in the story arcade mode, are the hardest ones. They make survival mode really fucking hard. I mean, look at this shit. Even if we survive, you get... Fuck. Look at this, I survived, but I'm practically dead. Ain't no pizza, just turtle power, or infinite power. Now, in fact, this is the infinite turtle power. Yes, infinite ninja power, yeah, that's what it's called. Game over. Even if I haven't free fall down there, I think I would have gotten a game over eventually. Master Splinter, okay. With the 2003 cartoon colors. Also starts in Edo, period. In Japan. The Kung Fu Kick, Liu Kang, Bruce Lee wannabe guys. Crystals, yay. Yeah, let's turn to Bebop. Okay. Cherry Blossom. Sakura. Huh? Oh, that was cool. Did he say Banzai? That's cool. Man, I really want to go to Japan someday and see the cherry blossom trees. Although that's the high season, so that's when traveling to Japan it's the most expensive. It's not the low season at all. And going to Japan is expensive as hell already from my part of the world. So yeah. But I hope I can finally visit Japan within the next 5, 6 years or so. That would be so cool. Also South Korea as well. And South Korea, since it's much smaller than Japan, a week seems sufficient to see at least the major cities and sites there. But Japan, yeah, you need like 2 weeks there. There's too much to see. Like Tokyo and Kyoto at least. Although obviously we'll not spend all of that just in those cities. I mean, I've been told that cities like Kyoto and Osaka, you don't need more than a couple of days to see the important parts. Tokyo, sure, 4 or 5 days to see it would be. But there are also other parts of Japan like Hokkaido and Kyushu. Cities like cities like Sapporo, Nagasaki and such. And also there's Okinawa. But yeah, Japan would be such a cool trip. Not only to see all the stuff that I only seen it on anime, manga, and video games and TV, but also to eat the delicious Japanese food, which I've heard you can find lots of quality food in Japan and for decent prices. As in, you don't even need special recommendations for restaurants because in pretty much all of Japan you can find decent ramen, quality ramen for very affordable prices because the yen is weak at the moment, while the euro is a very strong currency. So Japan, the most expensive thing about Japan is actually going there, because eating there is not that expensive, from what I understand. Yeah, my brother has been to Japan several years ago, a year or two before the pandemic. He bought some Japanese Super Nintendo games or Super Famicom games, but I haven't asked him many details about his trip to Japan. But I'm hoping he had a great time there. My uncle has been to China, both the mainland and Hong Kong. He did not go to Macau. He went to mainland China and Hong Kong. He said the Chinese were all very nice people. Also, there were some issues, communication issues in the mainland because well, their English skills are not that good. Not that my uncle also speaks very good English either, but the Chinese spoke even worse than he does. Of course, in Hong Kong, people spoke English because that was a British territory until 1997 or so. But in mainland China, not so much. And obviously, Michael did not speak a single word of Chinese. I mean, that sounds like a nightmare language to learn. And obviously, none of the Chinese in mainland China speak Portuguese. So, but he said they were very nice people. He liked going to China. And yeah, I think China would be an interesting place to visit. Although I think I would hate being forced to use their apps, since a lot of apps, since you'd be behind the great firewall, internet firewall, and you have to use their apps. Because a lot of the popular apps in the rest of the world, like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, are blocked in China. But oh well. Plus, China, despite being well, not being a democracy at all, and having some issues like the Chinese, like being a little chaotic, it's actually a pretty safe country. So I'm not too worried about going there compared to India, where there's a lot more crime and a lot more extreme poverty than in China. Like I know a couple of girls back in university from my university degree who spent a semester in India each, and one of them got sick there with dengue fever. She had to get hospitalized. She survived, fortunately, but that's scary. That's scary getting dengue fever. And the other one said that she did not get sick or anything, but she said she had some issues because there's a lot of sexual harassment against women in India, and that's pretty sad and scary. It's a shame because India seems like it will be a very fascinating country to travel, but you also have to be careful where you eat there because you might get sick from eating street foods. You can't drink tap water at all and you get sick. Oh shit, I died. But this I got a crystal. So yeah, I've only left Europe once. It was to go to Tunisia, Northern Africa, when I was a kid, and it was fine really for the most part. It was safe and even though you were not supposed to drink the tap water there, you can use it to brush your teeth, and if you drink the tap water, it's not gonna kill it, just can give you a runny tummy, you know. But nothing like that happened. And the Sahara Desert was really cool. But yeah, it was the only time I left Europe to go to Tunisia. I guess going to Morocco and Egypt would be cool as well. But Morocco is very close to Portugal, so going there would be dirt cheap, and lots of Portuguese people go to Morocco. But I haven't been there, so and I don't know what I expect to see there. So I think Egypt will be more interesting because of the pyramids. Although I know people who have had a bad experience in Egypt, and some weeks ago I was talking to a Swedish online contact of mine who said who we're talking about traveling, and he said that he will not go to Egypt or Morocco to Egypt because he's not very comfortable with the idea of visiting highly religious countries. He said that two Swedish girls some years ago lost their heads in Morocco to Muslim extremists, and that scares him. That puts him off visiting. Yeah. Although I think those girls just had really, really bad luck, and it can happen. But I understand his fear. No one wants to travel to a country where there's, where there's significantly higher risk of, losing your fucking heads. Although I don't know anyone who's been to Morocco who lost their fucking heads. And most people end up fine there. The only problem they have is dealing with scammers trying to sell these ships, treating you like an automatic machine, cash machine, because they think you have money because you're from Europe. That's one thing that taught me Tunisia. Trying to shop was awful because you had to argue with people, had to argue with the shop owners, the business owners for the price of things. They did not have the price marked down. You just have to argue with them and until you both agree on what kind of on what you should pay for this stuff. And apparently there are people who go to North Korea. I don't know how, I suppose. I don't know how, since I imagine that's a quite hard country to get to. Unless, I mean, I know they have to go to China first or Russia, maybe. I mean, it would be an interesting country to visit, but you'd have guides watching you as a hawk every single time, and you just feed you propaganda and such. You wouldn't get to see the actual real problems those guys have. Plus, there was that American kid a decade ago who got drunk, tore down the propaganda poster, and yeah, he got arrested and then he got sent back home and died a week later. So, yeah, you know what? Fuck going to North Korea. Just go to South Korea instead. I mean, you don't see anything, and honestly, as as morbidly curious as I am to see the closest thing in the world to a 1984 like government, I think it's better to just read about it, not actually experience it for myself, really. Because imagine you get sick in North Korea. There's no way their hospitals and clinics are good. There's no way. Like imagine you get really ill from eating food, or you break a bone, or worse, a rabid animal bites you. Holy shit, that's scary. But yeah, ideally speaking, I like to visit the whole world, but that's not feasible unless you're rich, and a lot of countries are just not particularly safe to visit. I mean, I obviously will not be traveling to war zones. Like, okay, even in Europe, I wouldn't travel to Ukraine at the moment because, you know, the war. Just like no one visit certain parts of former Yugoslavia in the 90s because of the war. My brother knew a guy who visited Syria as a tourist a few years before the civil war started. So I guess he got good timing because going to Syria nowadays is not exactly feasible. Yeah, no way I'm going there. As for people who've been to countries like Afghanistan, the only ones I know been to Afghanistan, I mean, that I personally know, I don't know any, but if I hear because of a Portuguese Prince to Afghanistan, it's because they were in the army, they were part of NATO peacekeeping troops there. Since Portugal is a NATO member, there's lots. You see soldiers from all over the world in Afghanistan back after the Americans invaded it and over to the Taliban government, which is now back, which returned some years ago. That's not exactly tourism, because a lot of Portuguese soldiers also went to the Balkans in the 90s as peacekeepers from NATO. Yeah, I got a crystal leaf ref. Although I think I already had that one, but somehow they force you to play all this stages again, even though you already have the crystals. Big ass mousers. I still don't know who the guy next to Monogekko is. I mean, he looks like that alien guy from Beyond Donatello's Nebula. That season 4 or 5 episode in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon. I don't remember his name, but he had an a British accent, and he befriended Donatello. Yeah, what was the carrot? I forgot about it. Gain 3 HP to start of every wave, but no pizza party for the perks duration. Less 6 rounds. Oh shit. And here I thought Bugs Bunny was coming to the rescue, but no. No Bugs Bunny, despite the carrot. Fuck these Triceratops with their stupid shields. Oh, I wasted my special. Fuck. Fucking huge ass hammers. Game over. Okay, extra HP point added. Okay. Let's go back to the story to level up the rest of the characters. Only Leonardo has been maxed out yet. Michelangelo's level 8. Raphael level 0, even though he's my favorite turtle overall. Game Boy Colors, okay. Dinosaur Stampede, okay, let's do this one. See, the cool thing about story mode is that you can, once you beat all the stages, you can select you can revisit them in any order you wish to, which is pretty cool. Unlike the arcade mode where you gotta start all over again and play them in each stage in order. So this is a big quality of life improvement in a modern day beat 'em up. You cannot do that in Turtles in Time, for example, as great as it is. So I'm still not sure if I think this game is overall better in terms of time or not. I mean, it technically should be, but I don't think the difference is that big because Turtles in Time is still fun after this. I expected this game to blow Turtles in Time out of the water. But even if you think it's better than it, I don't think anyone agrees that it would blow it out of the water. Although in theory it should, I guess. Oh well, details I suppose. You know, I have a confession to make. I never played the original Game Boy Ninja Turtles games. I've played the 2003 GBA ones, although I never beat them or gotten that far in them, especially the first one, which can be quite difficult. But Battle Nexus on the Game Boy is much better than the home console versions of it, because Battle Nexus on the GameCube, PS2, and uh, oh, I got a new follower. Thank you, new follower. I now got 25. I now have 25 followers. This is like the fifth follower I gained in the last 3 days, I think. Thank you very much to my newest follower. I appreciate it. Anyway, I was saying, oh yeah, the console versions of domestic console versions of Battle Nexus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus video game from for the GameCube, Xbox, and PS2. It's not a good game at all. The GBA version is completely different and much better. In fact, the original Ninja Turtles cartoon had the best video game adaptations, I'd say. Probably because the Turtles were at their hottest at the time. That cartoon was on the air, while the 2003 cartoon series was never as popular as it or even as the Nickelodeon series. So those games probably had higher budgets to make them good. Konami just half-assed them in the 2003 era. I mean, I think the first ever Ninja Turtles game for the NES is like the highest selling Ninja Turtles game ever. And one of the highest in the top 10 highest selling NES games ever for million copies sold. Because it came out in 1989 and it was the first major domestic system Ninja Turtles game at the height of Turtle Mania. So not, I mean, the Ninja Turtles cartoon, the original series, was like the most popular cartoon in the world for a few years. It was like a global phenomenon, so no wonder that game sold so much. And a lot of kids had to suffer through how difficult it was. It's not a bad game, it's a mediocre game for all the good ideas. The furthest I've gotten was a Technodrome. I kept dying to the jetpack astronaut looking guys. But you gotta know where to go to, because as a kid I couldn't get past the damn level. Even though the damn level is not that hard. I mean, people panic with the time limit, but I never let the time limit run out, honestly. I mean, the worst was finishing the stage, the level, when there was only 5 seconds left or something. But those were exceptions to the rule. The time limit is there on purpose to make you panic and rush through the stage. But trust me, it gives you enough time. Although dodging the electrical seaweed is just practically impossible, you have to cycle through your turtles and make sure they're fully health, have their full health. But you can do that in the stage before, just because not only enemies respawn, but so do pizzas. So make sure the turtles are in full health and cycle through them, so that you don't lose any turtle. You don't want to lose any turtle in that stage in particular. Because dodging the electrical seaweed is just you're gonna get hits. But yes, the dam level is not as hard as people make it out to be. The later parts of the game are like the Technodrome is like holy shit impossible, and even the underground, the level before it is also pretty damn hard, and the spikes and the airport level, which is like in the level 3, which is like amazing, and the airport level where you have to climb down climb down platforms, and not let the spikes coming out of the wall come and crush you and kill you instantly due to the game's tight, not so tight controls with the jumps. Oh man, yeah, that's usually where I get the game over in the game. The portal. Okay, Captain Zorax. In the 2003 series, its cap is General Praximus. I think he's the leader of the Triceratons in the Mirage in 2003 series. That was his name, Praximus. He's like their dictator. And the Turtles hold him as hostage one time after surviving the Gladiator games, which was pretty awesome. Was a very solid plan to get out of there. It's a shame Fujitori is not in this game at all. Not even a cameo appearance like Ray Fillet makes one, and Ninjara does. But oh well. Raphael is cool but rude. Oh, Kritek is falling asleep again. Cowabunga, right? Can say that again. Let's go to Dimension X. Hmm, maybe not. No, I don't want to see Raphael's ending yet. Let's level him up a little more. Which stage? Panic in the Sky. I haven't played this one today yet. We face Wingnut, and again, I don't know why Wingnut is in the game but not Screwless. That's an odd decision. Not that I particularly care about Screwless and Wingnuts, but it's just weird, you know. It's like having Razari not having Taco, vice versa, or having Dirtbag but not having Roundchunk, or vice versa, or having Bebop and not Rockstein, or vice versa. You know. But oh well. I like the few songs they made on purpose for the game. And since those songs were made on purpose for the game, there's no issues with getting muted on the VOD or getting copyrighted strikes. They're made on purpose for the game, so. Like when you fight Shredder, the first boss fight against Shredder in the Tekken Rummy Ducks, you get a rap song as his boss battle by Ghostface Killer and Ryakon. I think that's how I pronounce it. A Ghostface Killer, well, I think there are a couple of rappers. I remember them having a song in the SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the champ. And Ryakon is also a rapper, but I don't know who. I don't know. I'm not familiar with him. Might be one of the Wu-Tang Clan guys, I don't know. Again, rap music is not really my field of expertise. I'm a metalhead. But it's cool that they made made some songs, a few songs for this Ninja Turtles video game. Kiss your child goodbye, kiss your child goodbye. Surf's up! Pizza time! The foot blimp is just lame, dude. the turtle blimp. Man, imagine growing up. Imagine being a little kid in the 80s. I bet everyone wanted the turtle blimp toy, even though the turtle blimp would be highly impractical in real life, and it's obviously just a vehicle designed to sell toys. But yeah, it's not practical at all, and it doesn't seem safe at all to ride. But man, if I was a kid and I had the turtle blimp toy, holy shit, that would have been so fucking awesome. That and having also the tech from the turtle's lair. Although I imagine those would have been quite expensive toys. Like I know, like my wrestling ring, the 80s wrestling ring, which is a big ring from the 80s WWF that I bought in the mid 2000s. By then was a vintage item basically. It cost my mother like €110, which is a lot for a kid's toy. But that ring can hold up to like 30 different wrestling action figures. Like I used to make Royal Rumbles with my wrestling action figures and my Ninja Turtles action figures. And yes, Leonardo and Raphael definitely won a Royal Rumble each. I think Leonardo eliminated Edge last in his, and Raphael I don't remember. Yeah, Leonardo eliminated Edge and then faced Triple H at my In Your Room pay-per-view when I used to run when I was a teenager. I used to run a federation in my wrestling federation in my room with my toys that I'd call the events In Your Room. I think Leonardo lost to Shredder at WrestleMania because the Foot Clan and Shredder interfered. And then I make Leonardo win at Backlash. Just like, like The Rock lost at WrestleMania 2000 so because he got betrayed by Vince McMahon, but then he won at Backlash 2000. I was, so yeah, it was based on that. Oh, I complete level without getting hurt more than 4 times from obstacles. Okay. Again, I'm not aiming for the challenges, but so if I get them, it's by total accident. Because there's some challenges that are way too hard, like don't get harmed a single time in the stage. Even on chill, that's impossible for me. I don't claim to be a super player by any means, so. Why is it at Coney Island? Okay. I guess in Coney Island must be a small island nearby New York. I mean, I've heard of Staten Island and Long Island on TV, like on Seinfeld, but Coney Island I don't think I have. But apparently it's just, in this stage, just an amusement, a carnival, so maybe just a small island nearby. But yes, I've never been to the United States, let alone New York in particular. But the few Portuguese people I know who to the United States, they all go to New York City. It's like girls in particular just want to visit New York. I don't know what it is. Although I think most Europeans who go, in general, who go to the United States, go either to New York or to Disney World in Florida, which that I don't get the appeal. I mean, we have a Disneyland in Europe, Disneyland Paris, aka Euro Disney. I went there when I was a kid, and it was fine. And as an adult, I have no interest in going to a Disneyland or Disney World, whatever. And if I did, I'd just go to Disneyland Paris again. I wouldn't fly across the Atlantic to the United States to go to fucking Disney World, really. But hey, everyone does whatever they want with their money. I suppose if they have kids, they wanted to see the Disney World, but I don't have kids, so I don't see the appeal of going to Disney World or any amusement park nowadays. If I went to USA, I suppose I'd go to New York City because, well, I can't drive at all, and New York City has a good public transit, which is rare in American cities, I've heard. Plus, the country's way too fucking huge, and I don't know where else I'd go. So, like, I know, apparently there are Europeans who go like to the middle of the country of nowhere to see the Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore, but how do they even get there? I don't know. Because again, I can't drive, so. Carny foot soldier. Some pipes are clogged, Maybe the pipe in... Maybe April O'Neil's vagina's pipes are clogged. Okay, that was dirty. And stupid. But yeah, I suppose we all insert our pneumatic hammers inside April's O'Neil and drill until we found... Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. That's way too dirty. But yeah, I mean, I even put a warning in my stream saying that I use some bad words and such. Don't ask me to censor myself. That's not who I am. Man, I love this part of this tune. But this tune in the official soundtrack on Spotify, it's barely 2 minutes long, I think. So it's a shame. But it's one of my most played and scrabbled tunes from the Shredder's Revenge album, no doubt about it, on Spotify. Kutek is falling again. Oh well. Kutek, for those of you who don't know, he's a mole from he's a cartoon mole from a Czech cartoon mole. It's a Czech cartoon character who's popular in some Central European countries like Poland. I think he's also known among the Germans and Slovaks, but don't quote me on that one. It's definitely well known in Poland. And of course Czech Republic, its homeland. Papa Baloo. Nice. Nice. Raphael just laughing like a douchebag. Well, he's cool but crude, as the song says, remember. Thrills. Like what, Horror House? I do have good memories of going to the Lisbon's Carnival when I was a kid. But the fucking greedy politicians ruined it. They killed it. I guarantee. The funk frogs. Occasionally they'll toss you something to help you out against Leatherhead. And those are a lot of fucking manfuls. See? It's funny how Leatherhead is a bad guy in the original cartoon series because in every other version of the Ninja Turtles, he's actually an ally of the Turtles, actually a good guy. And now he doesn't speak with the I guarantee stereotypical Louisiana accent, I guess. Yeah. Although he makes a very entertaining villain in the 80s cartoon. And I love that episode where he fights against Rat King, and then that episode where both of them ally themselves to fight against the Turtles. Also, you gotta admit that Ninja Turtles characters have awesome names. I mean, Leatherhead, that's a great name for a crocodile. Mondo Gecko, that's a great name for a, well, gecko. Metal, yeah, that's a great name for a robotic turtle. Slash, that's a good name for an evil mutant turtle. Shredder, that's a great name for, well, Shredder. Casey Jones, well, it gives him cool initials, CJ. Splinter, that's a good name for a mutated rat. Did I get all their bugs yet, or? Yes, I did. Yeah, I got all the collectibles. Let's check the turtle there. Yeah, yeah, that's really the major achievement. Yeah, perform a 250 hit string. No, I can't do that, sorry. Yep, I got every single collectible. Okay, Raphael's on its level 2 so far, just like April. So yeah, I got a lot of the characters to level up. Let's go to the first stage, Channel 6, jaw-breaking news. Jaw-breaking, but there are no jawbreakers or Ed and Eddie, like those gigantic jawbreaker candies that they eat. When I was a kid, I totally wanted one of those, like holy hell. Man, Ed and Eddie was seems to also be the most well-loved original Cartoon Network series from the cartoons. Although strange enough, I never got to see the later episodes where summer is over and they're in school. I never got to see those episodes. I felt like it was always the same 20 or so episodes that are here. But everyone loved Ed and Eddie. Well, I got to see the later 25 episodes where Pops and Carl pop up. I love Johnny Bravo. Cow and Chicken Tail, I remember my brother liking it a lot, but honestly, that cartoon was pretty shitty. It's stupid. The best ones were Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, and Johnny Bravo. I guess Courage the Cowardly Dog also, but I never watched it much. But everyone seemed to love it. I never liked Chip in a Big City much. It was basically a musical, and not so much about the chip itself. Michael and Og, I don't remember it that well. Powerpuff of course I love that one. I never watched the movies though. But who didn't love Mojo Jojo? And the theme song was awesome. Powerpuff Girls were the shit. The villains, I didn't know what the hell to make of him when I was a little kid. He was so fucking weird. The way he spoke, he was so creepy, man. Mojo Jojo though, he was cool. I Am Weasel, well, basically it was basically kind of chicken, but with I Am Weasel and I Are Baboon. I preferred it to kind of chicken, to be fair. But man, Cartoon Network really was the shit in the 90s and early 2000s, wasn't it? I don't even know what there's there anymore. You know, in the mid 2000s, I liked two cartoons a lot: Samurai Jack and Megas XLR. But Megas XLR got cancelled, and I loved that shit. I can't believe they canceled it. Because everyone I knew who grew up with Megas XLR fucking loved it. So why the fuck did they cancel it? There's no way it got bad ratings, right? Samurai Jack was made by the same guy who made Dexter, the guy whose name was Tartakovsky or something. Yeah, I forgot his name. Hell, I still remember being a little kid when I was 6, 7 years old, and uh, and seeing the prototypes for Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, and the Powerpuff Girls in the Water cartoon shorts. Johnny Bravo got two of those, which really shows how old I am at this point. I'm 34 years old, turning 35 in November, in the 15th of November. So soon I'll be officially transitioning to the middle age, I guess. Which I guess the transition will be complete by the time you turn 40. But yeah. Kids nowadays will never know how great Cartoon Network was back in the day. And plus, we also got to experience all the classics, all the Hanna-Barbera classics, Tom and Jerry, the Looney Tunes. So it was like the best of both worlds. I got to experience cartoons from my parents' generation and also from my own generation. And since Portugal got the UK version of Cartoon Network back in the day, it was not 24 hours transmission. No, it stopped transmission at 9 p.m. and then would turn to Turner Classical Movies or TNT. On Fridays it would end at 8 p.m. and then it would air WCW Monday Nitro. That's how I got into pro wrestling. I remember being a kid and watching cruiserweight matches and the NWO. But if you wanted to watch the WWF, you had to tune into Sky Sports, which is an English channel, which not everyone got. You had to have some parabolic antenna, or you have to go on cable TV if you had cable, which I did, and wait for this German channel called DSF to air it live Monday Night Raw at midnight 1 a.m. in between commercials of old fat women asking you to call them, just, which was rather dramatic. Plus, then you watch Raw in the with the German announcers talking over Stone Cold Steve Austin and the matches. German, which is a language no one in Portugal fucking speaks. Okay, I speak German, but I sure as fuck did not when I was a kid, or as a young adult. It's bad. I mean, it was hard enough for us to keep up with uh, with English language cartoons and pro wrestling without subtitles when we were like 8 years old and everyone learned English in school, but German? Seriously, Jesus. So yeah, WWE, I only got it properly to it when it came back to a Portuguese channel with subtitles in 2004. So yeah, my actually earliest memories from WWE are watching JBL as WWE Champion, Evolution on Raw, turning on Randy Orton, Chris Benoit, aka he who shall not be named, as World Champion. So yeah, I missed out on the Attitude Era, as did my generation here. I only got to experience through YouTube Daily Motion and such in the mid late 2000s, in early 2010s. So no, I did not grow up playing the Nintendo 64 wrestling games or anything. My first wrestling game was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 on the PS2. Then I also got 2007. And then I got the Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain when they were already platinum and like 19 euros each. Pretty good games. The Nintendo 64 games like No Mercy I only got to experience through an emulators. And I have the 2K, WWE 2K23 and 2K24 on Steam. I haven't been playing 2K24 in a while, but I really liked Universe Mode despite all of its flaws. Universe Mode is something that I always kind of wanted in a WWE game, even though it has a lot of flaws, as we all know, lots of glitches, and it needs a bit of an overhaul, but it's so fun because you're full control to sandbox mode. You can choose the champions, the feuds, download cost. So yeah, I have wrestlers from all eras, many different companies in my federation, plus the Ninja Turtles and their fictional characters downloaded. Just feuding in for championships, creating my own factions, tag teams, it's awesome. And if you're a wrestling fan, you love the idea of universe modes. The good thing about modern day wrestling games is that they allow you to download up to or make up to 100 different cars, created wrestlers. And they also have giant rosters due to all the legends, because I don't really play as the modern day roster. Modern day WWE roster, for the most part, doesn't interest me. Like guys like Drew Gulak, Andrade, and such, yeah. They're just boring, or Otis. Also, 2K25, which I don't have brought back intergender wrestling, because in the older SmackDown games and Nintendo 64 wrestling games, the women could wrestle the men and even fight for the male championships. They brought that back in 2K25 and allowed the women to bleed again. And that's cool, because a video game doesn't have to be super realistic. Even though women in real life don't fight the main WWE, don't fight for the male championships. I see no problem with them fighting for those in the video games. No point limiting them. Because I remember in the late 2000s video games, it was really important to play as the women. All you could do was play Brian Petty's matches or single matches, no gimmick matches like Cage, Hell in the Cell, ladder matches, and no bleeding. So the divas were useless. The problem with the 2K WWE games is that the developers invest too much time and resources into the My Faction mode, which is the mode with microtransactions and shit, obviously, and which impossible as hell challenges because they have to They have to incentivize players to sink their, well, hard-earned cash into buying microtransactions to get packs and cards, the ones they want. Yeah, fuck that. Which is why people believe that's why 2K doesn't, why 2K would rather invest all their stuff, all their effort and money into it, to that mode instead of fixing universe mode or better story modes. By foot clearance, enter. That's a problem with a lot of major developers. I mean, I guess we can blame EA for that. anything, anything for me to look. I'm always open to any opportunity, any excuse to shit on EA. Electronic Arts are cancer. I'll never forgive them for killing SimCity, my beloved SimCity, which I grew up on the Super Nintendo, which is still my favorite SimCity game to date. Fuck you, EA. Fuck you. Why did you have to buy Maxis and kill SimCity? Why? EA are the cancer of video game industry. I know AVGN likes to shit on LJN, which, well, they're actually a toy company and a publisher originally. So they didn't actually develop games themselves, just publishing them. And yes, LGN games published by LGN were generally lousy, yes, but at least they just make lousy games. If you don't buy them, you don't have to deal with them, and they did not have microtransactions at least. Like, I'm sorry for anyone who grew up with the worst LGN games. I only grew up with the Incredible Crash Dummies for the Super Nintendo, which is considered a lousy game, but I think it's just mediocre, and I even reviewed it for my YouTube channel. And it's it's not bad, it's just rather dull, I guess. But it's not one of the worst LGN games, and I'd say the best one is probably Maximum Carnage, the Spider-Man one, which doesn't even feel like a game published by LGN. I haven't played any of the ones AVGN reviewed, fortunately. So I guess I was lucky to avoid those as a kid. As a kid, I didn't actually have a lot of shitty games. The only ones I did have were for the NES, the Bart vs. Space Mutants, Bart vs. the World. Because as you all know, most Simpsons games are trash. And Top Gun 2. I could never beat the first stage in that game. And yes, I have NES, the first Teenage Mutant Turtles game for the NES. But that's not a bad game, just mediocre. It's just super hard at first radio times, but I wouldn't call it a bad game per se. So no, I didn't have any. I only had like 2 or 3 shitty games as a kid. I was lucky. But I feel sorry for those kids who grew up playing, let's say, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters on the NES, Action 52. Like, holy shit, I'm sorry for anyone who grew up playing those games. Yeah, heavy metal, dude. What time is it? 8:37 p.m. Okay. Oh, I've been going it for 2 hours. Yeah, I can go for a while longer. Not feeling tired. You know, when I first saw this episode, Mutants Over Broadway, when I first saw it started, I expected this to turn into a musical number, like it'd be actually signed Broadway. But I guess Broadway is not just actual Broadway, but I guess a neighborhood district in Manhattan. So I guess it's a neighborhood area in New York City that just happens to have a theater there called Broadway, which is universally known. Oh, failed to finish level 100, as if I could do that. I have massive respect for speedrunners and guys and people who do Kaizers and Nuzlocke challenge, but that's just I can't do that. Sorry. I love to watch them, but I can't do it. Although I'm willing to try Rogemon someday. But Kaizo, I mean, you know those Maker levels, those Kaizo levels, which are like impossible. Yeah, I can't beat a single one of them. Sorry. Like I've beaten hard games, including some I've made. but Kaizo levels, no. And honestly, the people who can beat Kaizo levels easily are people in high rules of them. I'm not sure they should actually. I'm not sure if they should feel proud of being insanely good players, or if I should tell them to go see the fucking sun. Like seriously, because in order to be good, get good at beating Kaizo, be able to beat the Kaizo level, let alone hundreds of them, you must like sink what 800 hours into Mario Maker. I mean, go see the fucking sun, people. Jesus. I mean, challenging is one thing, or even beating a hard stage or games. But when it becomes a torture to actually do that, I mean, I don't see where the fun is anymore. I play a game to have fun, to entertain myself. And a challenge can be entertaining, but if it's like brutally hard to the point of making me lose my fucking hair, and to make me even more depressed than I am, then holy hell, no thanks. I'm not a fucking masochist. And I played the Nintendo 64 Carmageddon port not long ago and reviewed it. So it's not like I'm immune to trying shitty and difficult things at times. Plus, supporting my football club, Benfica, in the last several years has been a torture due to all the incompetence and the loser mentality in it. And by the looks of the chairman elections last night, the associates want 4 more years of humiliations and shit. And no, I can't deal with that. I mean, I will never stop loving Benfica, but I'll have to take a sabbatical for some years for my fucking sanity. I'm ready to work for that shit. And I and I have to realize that football is not the most important thing ever. It's just a sport at the end of the day for overpaid millionaires who don't even know I exist. So whether I support them or not, whether I defend them angry online or not, I'm not gonna fucking care. It changes nothing. There are more important things to worry about in life, I guess. Sports. I do have a football discussion channel on my Discord though, so feel free to discuss football there. Turtles and Rise, isn't that an appropriate name for their vehicle? That would have been a sick toy to have. Turtle vehicles toys, I only have the Battle Shell, which is the 2003 cartoon version of the Turtles fan, and Raphael's motorcycle, I forgot its name. Yeah, there's all oh, and there's also one that's underwater by Donatello. That I also have that one. No, or maybe no, maybe not. Oh, and I think I also have one which flies, but it's not a turtle blink. No. Yes, I only have I only have 2003 Turtles toys and the collectibles from and the 4 big turtles from the 80s toys, but I only bought them in the 2012 or so when they were starting to release vintage toys. Because again, I was not alive in the 80s. And by the time I was 6, 7 years old, the old tune was off the air. So my first Ninja Turtles action figures were the 2003 ones when I was 12 or so, and that was pretty cool to finally have Ninja Turtles action figures. I bought 2 sets, which was, well, my mother bought me 2 sets. One that came with Leonardo, Donatello, and Shredder carrying a big weapon, and another one which came with Raphael, Michelangelo, and the Foot Ninja. The Foot soldiers are called Foot Ninja in the 2003 series, and they're human, just like in Mirage. Rumble in the Zoo. Yeah, it's not gonna be a walk in the park, Roth. By the way, everyone, what's your favorite Ninja Turtles cartoon? Honestly, Honestly, I think the best one overall is the 2003 one. Then again, I only fully watched the 2003 and 87 cartoon series. I only watched like 4 episodes of the Nick cartoon. It did not appeal me, although someday I should try and give it a proper watch. No, I did not watch Rise. It looked like shit, honestly. Does not appeal to me at all. Don't ask me to elaborate, please. I will not. Oh, I like Raphael yells like Bruce Lee in his movies. By the way, I also upload my Twitch VODs onto YouTube. Last night I finished uploading the ninth and final part of my Castlevania Symphony of the Night playthrough. A game I beat over 2 weeks ago. First time I ever played it and it was awesome. And I'll be uploading VODs of Shredder's Revenge. And also of Pokemon Adventure Red. On my YouTube channel I also occasionally post reviews in AVGN style for older games. I also have a playlist titled Street Fighter where I upload my online Street Fighter matches against people, whether with Super Turbo, Third Strike, Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6. And and I also post shorts of my clips here on Twitch, which I also share to Instagram and TikTok more recently. And I also have shorts where I show off games in my collection and also shorts wishing happy birthday to favorite fictional characters of mine, and of peculiar or funny scenes in video games, cutscenes in video games, moments. And if you want to know more about my opinions about other stuff beyond Snow Get a little bit better, you can join my Discord or follow me on Twitter. Although on Twitter I've been mostly retweeting lately, but it gives you a deeper glimpse into my personality. And on Twitter I can get more serious at times. Instagram, I've been mostly sharing reels from my Twitch clips. But you can find photos of my travels there and such, and also my video game collection and such. Selfies of myself, I guess. If you want to look at my face. Fuck you, Roadkill Rodneys. Turning me into fucking Roadkill. Well, not Roadkill, says, I guess Ninja Kill. Now that doesn't exist, that's fucking stupid. Yo. The tiger is just chilling, just sleeping. Typical feline. Haha. He's just like my cat Lena. Oh, you'll find pictures of Lena, my cat Lena. Oh, in all of my social media pretty much. I love cats. If you're a cat person, you will get along fine. Now, if you hate cats, then, well, keep that to yourself, because I don't want to listen. And if you do really hate cats, then I feel sorry for you. How dare you hate cats, they're such cute animals. I love the I love the theme of this stage. I like Monk is just sleeping, he looks so cute. I like these ones will be throwing shit at me like coconuts. Fuck. You know, getting a man. I wonder how manhole covers are so light in Ninja Turtles. Because in real life they're like almost bolted to the ground. They're like heavy as hell. pick up to open. I mean, they must hurt if you throw them at someone. Holy shit. Fuck. Krang's head looks so funny in the background. Run, Chuck, and Dirtbag once again. Partner. Gotta grab. Can't grab the bull by the horns here, I'm afraid. Cowabunga. My cat Lena. She's in the room. Trying to call her. Would be cool if he showed up on stream. I'm not gonna force her to. She doesn't like being carried hell much. Oh, and she's leaving again. Oh, you won't get to see her today, I'm afraid, then. Let's see. Raphael's at level 4 so far, okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go King of the Spiel, Rat King. I haven't faced him yet today, so might as well. King of the Spiel, as opposed to King of the Hill. Pant Cola by the Punk Fox. Pant Cola sounds cool, but also doesn't sound tasty. I feel like I'd get sick from drinking it. What, is it made of pond water? From the swamps? Yeah, that doesn't sound healthy. What about you? Would you drink Pant Cola? That food soldier reading the newspaper is pretty funny. I don't think the food soldiers can read. I mean, they're robots, and not particularly bright. So they're probably smarter than Bebop and Rocksteady, to be fair. Not that that's a high bar to set, but hey. Yo, watch the metro. Imagine the passengers inside that train, looking at watching one of Ninja Turtles beating up robotic ninjas. That must be quite a. Imagine tourists going to New York City and seeing that sight. Imagine that. The reaction must be a sight to see. Go Green Machine. Yeah. Cleaning house. Fortunately, the Soul Warrior does not hurt even though it's green. frogs. Go! I don't know why you can't break that since nothing happens. Like you don't get a piece or anything. Or points. Hey, don't eat me. Just stay on the ground floor. Because that stuff hurts you. Man, monsters really are annoying bastards, aren't they? Radical notion, dude. Pain in the fucking ass, dude. Rat King. A fascinating and mysterious villain. Now, if I saw a bunch of rats running towards me in real life like that, I think I would faint. Fuck. Get off me, rat. Since the turtles are cold-blooded, I don't think they can get the kind of... I'm not sure the rats can transmit the kind of diseases that they have the turtles, can they? Like, how is Rat King not ill from living among rats? Oh, level 5. Krang's head. It's funny how the story, the plot of the story mode is basically Krang's body scattered all over New York City in Dimension X, and they have to set it up together. It's kind of funny. But the original cartoon series was known for its crazy plots. Okay, let's see. Let's look at. It's 9 p.m. here. Look. Okay, I've been going at it. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Normally, I normally I go for 2 hours and between 2 hours and a half and 3 hours and a half on average. But today I'm gonna have to cut it a bit short. But if anyone's here, don't leave now because we're gonna rate someone, okay? And I'm sorry for cutting the stream for not going for at least 30 more additional minutes. But hold tight because we're gonna rate someone, and let me pick someone to rate. I'm not sure yet who we're gonna rate, but let's see. Let us let us look for someone to rate because I always rate after I'm done because I was told that was a cool way of meeting people. So yeah, let's raid. Okay, let's see if anyone else is playing this game at the moment because not many people play this game nowadays. or at least don't stream it. But okay, okay. Let's see. Who shall we rate? Shall we rate? Okay. Okay, let's see if this person allows rates. Yeah, they do. Okay, let's rate Scott Worth.
COWABUNGA, thanks for the raid, dude. Bringing some Siggies in. I love me some Siggies. Y'all are great. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it. How y'all doing today? I'm getting really mad at this game, and also of your life as we speak. It's kind of a live